In the name of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Today, brothers and sisters, we have two Gospels important for us to read. The Sunday Gospel is the account of Christ in the Gospel of Luke, the account of Christ sending out a legion of demons from a man who's been bound down with chains and fettered. And he's set apart, living in the tombs, away from the rest of the community because of his actions and how people are afraid of him. And we also hear for the feast day of St. Joseph Pachayev, this account in St. Luke of the Beatitudes, Christ teaching the Beatitudes. It sounds like these two things are completely different, these two gospel readings, but there is a connection in these. In them, both we hear about possession, demon possession, a possession of the spirit within man. And we hear often the Beatitudes of Christ because we sing them for the liturgy. We sing St. Matthew's version of the Beatitudes, each liturgy. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. The Beatitudes are the law of the New Testament. In the Old Testament, Moses went up on the Mount Sinai, separate from the people, and was handed the law of the Old Testament, to bring down and give to the people, so that they can abide by it. And then throughout the Old Testament, there was many more commandments given and laws, and oftentimes they come with a curse. If you do not follow this commandment, you'll be cursed. Something will befall you because you are no longer following the commandments of God. And true, the Jews believe this, even right up to today. And all, of course, through the Gospels, we hear this, that if anything bad happened to somebody, it was because they did something wrong. They were sinful. They did not follow the commandments of God. But Christ changed this. In the Beatitudes, and the two accounts are similar. They're similar accounts. They were probably taught. Luke is writing about some preaching of Christ that was different from St. Matthew, but it was the same teaching. In Matthew, they were called the Sermon on the Mount. Christ was on the Mount. Luke, he was teaching at a different location. He was on a plain. But either way, he taught directly to the people, to the disciples and to the people around him. He did not have Moses come separate himself. It was directly to the people. And it was not a curse. The Beatitudes always say blessed, blessed. In Greek, it's a Greek word. It says makarios, makari. Sometimes it's happy, happiness. But truly, it's a bless. You're blessed if you follow these. And we people are sponges. Our souls are sponges. Our hearts are sponges. And so we are supposed to take in the spirit of these Beatitudes. An attitude to have. This is what Beatitudes mean. It means that we possess an attitude, a spirit within us. And we're supposed to do these Beatitudes. A spirit of meekness, a spirit of righteousness for Christ's sake, for God's sake, a spirit of lowliness. We're supposed to cast away all greed and worldliness around us. This is what Christ tells us what would bring us blessings in this world, and to more likely a blessing in the afterlife. In our time and day, happiness. Happiness comes in a whole different purview, right? We are supposed to attain the world. We're supposed to attain material possessions, money, power, lust. We're supposed to satisfy everything that makes us happy for the fleeting moment. This is what the world tells us what happiness is. But Christ tells us that a blessedness, happiness is something completely different, brothers and sisters. That it is a total life-giving over to Christ, of humility and of kindness, of love. We heard it in the epistle from the Galatians today, all the virtues that Paul lays out that we're supposed to instill in our hearts. This is what blessedness, this is what truly brings happiness. If we've ever tried to gain happiness in this world by possessing something, material, or a feeling, an emotion, we know that it just doesn't last. The more sometimes we get, the more things that we want, the more pain and sorrow we seem to find. We will not find happiness in this world. We will find it in the next world. And this is what the Beatitudes teach us. And so how do we connect it to this other gospel, the first gospel of this demon-possessed man? Like I said, brothers and sisters, our souls, our hearts are sponges. we soak in that which we possess or dispossess around us. If we are worldly, we're going to have a worldly spirit within us. If we lend ourselves over to sin, we will have an evil spirit within us. If we put ourselves over to Christ and to living out the Beatitudes, we will have a spirit of peace within us. Our souls will take in that which we live, how our life is. And so, brothers and sisters, today, when we hear this account of this demon-possessed man being freed by Christ, and his teaching of the Beatitudes, always remember that we have to have an attitude, a spirit of joy and of peace, of one that is always looking to the next world, not this world, for our happiness, brothers and sisters. This is the teaching of the gospel, all wrapped up in the Beatitudes. And we sing it in every liturgy for a reason, so that we can recount it in our lives each and every day, that this is how we should live. And this should be the bar that we live and we judge our life by, is those Beatitudes. So, brothers and sisters, let's do our best to remain humble. Let's flee from sin and from greed and from money and power and lust that the world tells us that we need. And stay humble and rejoice that our blessings come in the next world. And that true peace can be found today if we just accept the will of God. In the name of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.